My dad took us on so many adventures growing up, but some of the greatest adventures he had was when he was by himself. He's got a birthday coming up. Maybe we should do something to preserve those adventures. Pass them on to a new generation. Share those experiences. So, to accomplish this, my mom and I got him a voice recorder. It's a nice little one, little metal case, but we're hoping that he will use it to record his stories, his adventures, his pearls of wisdom for the next generation. But I can't just give it to him in a white corporate box. So we're going to make it out of Kempis. This is a beautiful wood used for flooring, and it comes out a very, very warm orange color when finished. I'm starting off here by marking off the checked area at the end so that will get cut off. We don't want cracks in it. And then I'm measuring out about 12 inches. Should be plenty enough to mill down and make a nice little box. I know you're tired of watching me cut wood on a table saw, so I'm going to use a technique here taught to me by a Shogun ninja samurai. Works every time. And now we have the perfect piece to cut down on the table saw. Don't try this at home unless you are experienced with a table saw. We'll take that then and run it through the drum sander and get it down to proper thickness. This box is going to be 3/4 of an inch thick with a 1/4 inch lid for a total of 1 inch. Should be plenty to fit. Don't forget that Patreon supporters get full access to the design and long-form tutorials on how I do my projects. So look at the link below and support the channel. And for the rest of you who just like to watch the machine go, here we are. I'm cutting out the bottom of the box out of the Kempis now. It's a 1/2 inch deep recess with a 1/4 inch down cut end mill. And then I will see if everything fits. And it fits perfect. Alright, now that it's off the machine, it's time to sand it, which is boring. So let's go faster. Faster! I said faster. Come on. Speed it up. Let's go. Wait. Slow down. You're going to hurt yourself. After making it through that with our fingerprints intact, we now need to cut a piece of the packing out so that we can charge this while it's in the box. So first off, I'm going to take the packaging from the original box and stick it into my new little recess. And see that cutout in the wall there? We're going to cut out the foam so that you can plug it in and close the box and charge the device. Simple thing to do, just a matter of a razor knife and a little bit of pressure. And now we have taken the nice foam packaging from the box and turned it into functional packaging in our new pretty box. And now we test it out and it seems to work perfectly. Everything will fit and the lid will go on and voila. I'm not putting any hinges on this box. There's going to be a brass rod that goes in one hole and a magnet that goes in the other. That way the box will swing open on the brass pin and magnet closed on the other hole. It's a nice, simple, elegant design, and yeah, so let's see how that's done. I start by cutting a little piece of 1/4 inch brass rod to a little bit longer than I need. and so it will fit in the recess and stick up a little bit, and I can trim off the excess later. Brass rod cuts really easy with a cutoff wheel on an angle grinder, and I went and off camera kind of cleaned up, deburred the end of it, and tamped it down in. And here I have to figure out which way the lid goes, because I want the grain to match up, and I forgot to mark it, so I fumble for a minute. Yep. No, is that the right way? No, maybe this way. Oh, yep, I think that's it. With that sorted out, we can fit it together and start to work on the magnet. Everything looks good, and I'm going to tamp this down a bit. Do a little bit of peening, which didn't really work. The lid still can be removed, but it's a little tighter now, but you can see how it swings open. So let's move on to installing the magnet. I'm just going to use some tight bond to glue the magnet into that little pocket on the lower right part of the box there. The brass rod up top I drilled all the way through. This one I only drilled down 1/8 of an inch so that it would hold my 1/8 of an inch thick magnets. So I'm using some tight bond medium here to squeeze into the hole. It won't run too much, but it still gets into the wood grain and holds the magnet firm. And a little activator, and it will set up in seconds. The holes in the lid go all the way through, one for the brass rod and one for a magnet, and half of that hole is going to be magnet, the other half is going to be a brass plug. So I put some tape on the bottom, so I don't want to glue the two pieces together when I glue this top magnet in. I spent all this time making two pieces, I don't want to end up with one. So as you can see, there's a piece of tape there, and I'm just going to put some CA glue on top of it and use the activator to set it as well. Now that that's set, I have another little piece of brass rod that I'm going to put on top of the magnet so that the top of the box looks uniform with two little brass plugs. I'm just using more Star Bond and going to glue in the brass plug. After I get done with this, I don't have fingerprints anymore though. You know how CA glue is. It sticks to everything. But I guess if it didn't, we wouldn't use it, right? I put some blue tape on the surface to protect that sanded down surface, and used a Dremel to cut off the excess brass rods. And then using some 400 grit sandpaper, I sanded the surface to a nice smooth top, and also sanded that brass plug down. And at 400, that's kind of starting the polishing process on the brass. It's starting to function and look like a box. And then this happened. Well, of course I had to assemble my new laser engraver. I was going to use it on this project. So this new toy I've got is an X-Tools D1 10-watt diode laser. One of the more powerful diode lasers on the market, and it is pretty easy to set up. Took me about 15 minutes, and then I got totally distracted and started engraving dog tags for my puppies. After playing with it for several hours, I finally was able to refocus and did a test burn on some Kempas to see what I wanted to have settings for this box. Because we're going to laser engrave the front of it. Very cool. And then I got started engraving the front. And this thing, it works like a dream. It is so easy. I am very impressed with this machine. I had designed this to be engraved with the CNC machine, but it transferred over and was able to be laser cut with just as much ease. So since that was so easy, I flipped it over and put an inscription on the bottom of the box, just for Dad. So now comes my favorite part, putting on the finish. This is when a project really starts to shine. I'm just using Danish oil on this one, but you can see that this Kempas, once it has oil on it, just glows. It is a very pretty wood, and it's an underutilized wood in most places. Everyone thinks of it as hardwood flooring, but I think it worked great in this instance. After getting it all oiled up, it's time to just use some hot glue and attach the foam padding. You just put a little daub in each corner and then a little daub by the opening so it wouldn't pull up, and that's that. Project is finished. Just gotta let it dry and then we can wrap it up and deliver it to my dad. I don't know about you, but call me old school. I like wrapping my presents in just brown paper. Something about all the crazy, colorful birthday and Christmas wrapping just seems to detract from the gift inside. So I just use some brown paper to wrap this, and then I will seal it with a string and my seal. So you see me wrapping the string around it here, and what I do is I tape the ends down to the table so that they hold fairly tight so I can have my hands free. So I've had this wax seal since high school, and this wax since high school, 20 some years old. Every once in a while I like to break it out for something special, and it just adds a little touch of class to wrap the present in twine and then seal it with some wax and my initial. You know, I don't know, it probably cost me 10 or 15 bucks back in the 90s, and so they're probably about $25 now, but they still are they're a fun thing to have, and they add a touch of class, a touch of nostalgia to the gift. Oh, here we go, and we will take it over and deliver it here in a few minutes. Happy birthday. Here you go.
Thanks.
Everyone who's watching this video already knows what it is. It's your turn.
Should I just watch a video instead?
You could. Be hard to do and it won't come out till after you open it.
It's not like when he was a kid.
Yeah, the brown paper's tough, I know. So it pivots on the bottom brass, and the top brass has a magnet under it.
A recorder. I suppose you want me to recorder things.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I was thinking about buying one the other day.
Well, good. So there is a inscription on the back of the box as well.
I saw that.
From Mom and I. It turned out a little hard to read after I put oil on it. So if you want me to read it to you, I could do that. Why don't you let me read that to you, Dad?
All right.
Hold this, Mom. Don't touch the screen. We hope you take the time to share your humor, hope, and wisdom with us. As everything eventually fades to dust and forgotten memories, your amazing journey and incredible experiences should never disappear. Let them be a light to generations you will never meet, and a connection to a past that should never be forgotten. Happy birthday, your loving wife and adoring son, 2022.
Thank you. I'd love to share the adventures that God's put in my life with my grandkids and great-grandkids. That would be great. Thanks, Phil.
Happy birthday.